little space for mention of the Crusaders' win last week. Super Rugby champions.
I don't see tears in your face.
For the 9th time, you know. Uncle Saini, our sports correspondent, always said 7 days is a long time in sport. So it's been 6 days.
It's a good time.
That's long enough.
Okay.
But granted, we'll give it to them. The Lions, you know, they came undone, unfortunately. It was just not to be. Sadly, not third time lucky for them. Third time unlucky for them. And of course, the Crusaders were crowned Super Rugby champions 2018, deservedly so. They were always going to be difficult to beat at the AMI Stadium in Christchurch. So well done to them, and I believe it's their 9th title. So absolutely well done to the Crusaders, beating the Lions 37-18. And of course next week we see the start of Currie Cup also, and of course the start of the Rugby Championship. And of course we've seen Rassie Erasmus a lot in the news this week, talking his South African squad up. And of course, sort of explaining 1 or 2 selections that he made. But we can touch on some of the selections later on when we do our wrap-up too.
But before we get into the ladies, I'm still curious about rugby because I'm learning the game. Since you started here working with female, so I'm super excited. Now I've just went through on the source on the internet, Super Sport. I've seen that the juniors are doing similar well in this series, and they play against Wales. Just give us a brief on that.
Well, that's the Aon International Schools Series, which is taking place currently, and they started today. They played out in Paarl at a beautiful setting, a beautiful school called Boland Landbouw. And of course, in the first game, we saw England taking on France. France was just too mighty for them. And then, of course, in the second game, the final game of the day, South Africa took on Wales, and it went right down.
And Murwa. Ma'am, you want to start with them or should I?
Well, you can go ahead. I'll come in.
Okay, let's go with Yoliswa, right?
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good, thanks, and how are you?
I'm great. And of course, Murwa on the side. How are you, man?
Yeah, I'm good, thanks, and you?
I'm good. So, in the month of August, we're celebrating women, and that's the reason why you guys are here. Because you're doing the most in the world of sports. And you deserve to be sort of applauded for such work that you're putting in and the contribution, and that is something that often happens in the location and of course just in general when it comes to women. So I salute you for coming over. I salute you for the hard work that you put in and inspiring other young women, more those that are actually involved in sports. So now let's talk to Yoliswa. Yoliswa, I said it on the social media that you are doing, you're a brand manager.
Yeah.
I don't know if you're a blogger as well.
Yeah, I'm a blogger, I'm a brand manager, I'm a YouTuber, I'm everything.
So you are everything, and that's what we want to hear from women, right? So please just a brief, explanation of what does a brand manager do, or what is it basically?
Okay, let's just start off. I did not start by being a brand manager. It started with the blogging. I started with creating player profiles, whereby I saw it was an opportunity for me to be a brand manager. So I started being a brand manager. Brand managing is me overlooking the brand.
Right.
Once you're a player, once you're known, you're a brand.
Sure.
And we have to maintain that. We have to make sure that you grow within your respective sports, whatever sport that you're in.
Right.
So it involves social media, making sure that you are present, making sure that you interact with your people in order for you to grow, making sure that you are seen by people, agents, sponsors, big teams, managers, scouts, and whatever. It makes it easier for you to be seen out there. If you do not have a brand manager, it's a bit complicated, even if you do have an agent, but there's some things that agents do not cover. So that's where brand managing comes in, whereby I'm like, okay, how about we campaign for this kind of thing to make awareness so that you can draw these kind of people. How about now we do this so that we can be seen here? How about we do that so we can be seen there? So that's what's about brand managing, is to put your brand out there and to enhance the person that you are on the field and off the field as well.
And is there like a specific course that you need to go, like subject in the high school level you need to go for in order for one to become a brand manager like you're doing right now?
I bet there is, but I did not study for it.
Okay.
I'm sure there is, because I've seen people being or having qualification in brand strategy. So I'm sure there is something that you should have
about
theory
doing
about,
it.
but
Yes,
then when
yeah.
it's a passion as well, becomes a bit easier for you,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
you're not doing it off theory, but you're doing it from
Sure,
deep within,
sure.
and you know what you're doing and you know what you want. You've got a vision.
Right.
That's the most important thing. So I think if you don't have that much of a passion, maybe, and you're thinking about it, you should consider studying it,
Yes.
because I'm sure there is something.
No, definitely. I think
Yeah.
it would probably fall with marketing.
Marketing, PR as well.
PR, because I think, you do a lot of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of marketing. You're branding the person.
Yeah.
You're branding the image of the person. And so you're basically marketing the person.
Yes.
Selling the person, so to speak.
Of course.
And I really like what you're saying, Elisa. We obviously always encourage people to study and to, but study in a sense of educating yourself. And you may not have done the formal education, but you've certainly schooled yourself.
Yeah.
And I think you had a big plus in the other P, which is passion. And that really carried you. But I think also with your generation, it's just second nature in terms of social media, how it works, what doesn't work, etc. And of course, I'm pretty sure that you must also have an interest in sport, since this is the direction that you took.
Correct. Most people don't know that I've loved football since I was a very young girl. I used to play street football with the boys as well.
Wow.
I used to watch football every day with my uncles and my brother.
Uh-huh.
We've known at home it was soccer zone every Mondays. We did not watch Mubango. Meanwhile, the other households watch Mubango. No, we watch soccer zone.
Great stuff.
Saturdays, I made sure I watch Ishibobo. That was
Yeah.
my thing. So for me, I've loved football since forever. And I've realized that there is a gap where soccer players or sportsmen or sportswomen are not taken serious if they are not out there.
Sure.
You may have a talent,
Sure.
but if you are not out there, then your talent is
must have a presence.
exactly, you must have a presence
Yeah.
for you in order for your talent to be working in your favor. So if you do not have a presence, then your talent is going to waste. So I've noticed that coming from the townships, I've seen people whereby you've been called like one of the biggest players playing in the streets, but it's just there.
Right.
You will never reach the PSL, you never reach
Sure.
NFD, nothing. It will be just there.
Sure.
He used to be shoes in Google to Kailicha.
That is it.
Yes.
And that's it,
Yes. Yes.
And hence I started with the player profiling, whereby I create player profiles so that it's easier for people to track you. Because even if you go onto Google and you type for certain players, you can't find them because they are not there. You can't find them because they have no presence on the social media, and
Right.
that's the very most important thing, that where people can find you easier as well. So it's just I may not be helping you in getting into a club,
Yeah.
but if there's something that I can do, it's me writing a blog post about what you're doing,
Right.
to take a YouTube video, post it out, and so people can see you. It's me helping you
Absolutely.
make your dream come true.
Absolutely.
Still talking about this brand managing, blogging, and also putting people out there on
Yeah.
YouTube. So did you went straight to professional players, or you just started from the grassroots level?
I started grassroots levels, whereby I even worked with, it was a new team, but I think they sold the team now. It was a team from Kailicha. I worked with them. They were in the ABC. So I would go out on young boys who are actually playing in the SAB, ABC, whereby I also now approached big players who are ready to get brand managers, who are ready, they've got their presence there, but they need enhancement.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm working with everyone to say, but then the vision, it was for me to work with grassroots level,
Okay.
because that's where it all starts.
It always starts there, and I love it that she mentioned it as well. So we always need to go back to our community. Whatever we do, whether we reach the good heights or whatever, but we need to start where at the grassroots level, at home,
always.
right? And of course, we need to focus now on. My goodness, my name Annalisa. We have Murwa Thomas, Nabisile, and then Annalisa, right? Please tell people who you are, what you're doing, and of course you're in hockey, but just your background in sports.
Okay, well, like I said, my name is Annalisa
Yeah.
Thomas, but I think we should just keep it as Murwa.
Oh, yeah.
Not to confuse ourselves.
Hashtag
Yeah.
coach.
Yeah, or coach.
Or coach.
Well, I started playing hockey 2002 at school level, and as a matter of fact, I played soccer as well. I began with soccer, but then I had an interest in playing hockey. In fact, for me, it was a matter of there's a lot of people playing soccer.
Yeah.
Let me just try something else, something
Right,
different.
right.
I then went into hockey, and fortunately, following year 2003, I made it to the SA Games, which were held in Pretoria, and we came with gold in the
Great.
tournament. And since then, I've never looked back. I've been a player since. And then 2007 was when I established Mandalay Hockey Club, which is still running. It's a struggle. It's a struggle with lack of resources.
Sure.
You know, it's just humble beginnings. Let me just say. So, but since then, we've managed to produce quite a few provincial players in different age groups.
Right.
Yeah.
So for you, how is the transformation like from being a player that was holding that stick all the time and just playing around the field and now into being a manager, being a coach, being also the founder? How do you become so multifaceted in one sport, in code? Where does the motivation where did it come from, the motivation for doing such things in like back in the community more especially? Yeah.
Now look, I've always been interested into sports. Like I said, I've started with soccer and then into hockey. So for me, it was easier while I was at school playing hockey.
Okay.
I didn't have any other responsibilities, let's just say, until after high school, where I then had to go work and all that. I then worked for but with girls in sports, it's a
bit of a
total
challenge.
different story.
Yeah.
Because I had a lot of problems with
Right.
with trying to get the girls to pitch up. First of all, for the games, it will be a matter of I need to take care of my brother, or I've
Yeah.
got household
ABC.
duties. It was a mission,
Sure.
and
Sure.
I just felt, look, I can't, because I'm running the club alone.
Right.
I don't necessarily have any support,
Right.
and financially it's sickening.
Yeah,
I must
I
say.
get it.
It kills.
It's horrific.
Yeah.
So I
And-
just focused on the boys, and I'd love to have a girls team
Right.
again, but like I'm saying, financially it's
And obviously some of the social responsibilities that they have, those are the things that's not allowing them. And parents, do they come to the fore at all? Do they get involved in the club at all?
There's probably about 3 or 4 parents that are even interested,
Right.
that are willing to assist with the club. For instance, if we don't have transport to go to matches, there'll be a parent, just one, probably
Right.
just saying,
Right.
okay, look, coach, what do you need? How can I help?
Yes.
But the rest is, I mean, for me, I just took it as if the least that you could do
Sure.
as a parent is, support.
Right.
It doesn't, just being at the field,
Yes.
Show your face.
Mm.
right?
show your face.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry to say this, but when we go, hockey is seen as a white sport. You go to the game, you see white parents.
It's always been
You
the
see
case.
white parents.
Right.
And you look at a team, there's not a single parent there
Right.
coming to support these
Right.
kids and coming to watch. So for me, I think, and hockey, I think maybe it's because of that as well, because it's a different sport. It's not soccer, it's not netball
Sure.
that is seen every day on TV.
Yeah.
Sure. It's
So
not a traditional sport.
yeah.
Although it's becoming.
It's
quite.
becoming
Yes,
slowly, because even if you look at the national team, how
Right.
many
Yes.
black players do you see at the
Right,
national team?
right.
Yeah, I get
So yeah,
Mm.
so maybe I think we need to go back into
Sure.
introducing sports, different sporting codes into schools,
Yes.
and not only focusing on soccer, cricket, and netball. Maybe let's look at other sports
Absolutely.
that kids can. That,
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And I think, a lot of parents also, I mean, sport is so much more than just, kicking or knocking about the ball.
Yeah.
There's so much more that children learn from
Learn from
sports.
sport.
And we talk about this nearly every week, Annalisa, just about, creating that balanced individual, that whole individual, and with a parent or parents, even better if both parents can be there, every Saturday or whenever the child plays. It goes a long way.
The saddest part, or that I've experienced in fact recently, one of my good players, potential players, but the parents are just not interested in the sport. In fact, they just want the kid to play.
We absolutely have to take a short break. We have We have some breaking news, I do believe, and we'll be back after this.
Sports Desk on Radio 786.
Welcome back on #Sports Desk, the award-winning sports in the motherland. Okay, I don't know how to start this, but it just happens that our guest tonight, it's her birthday, right? So I'm forced to sing for her, and I'm not a good singer, and I'll do my best to make sure that she smiles, please. So here we go.
Because she's made an effort to be here on her birthday.
That's another,
And it's Friday night.
and that, yeah.
Could be turning up somewhere.
Okay, so in the count of 1, 2, 3, I'll go, and we just, even if I don't really, give you that voice that you may be looking for.
You need to start now.
It's the
1,
nerves.
2, 3. Happy birthday to you.
Idols.
Happy birthday
Yeah, I need to help
you. Happy birthday to Zeliswa.
Yes,
Happy
ma'am.
birthday to
I couldn't
you. I bailed you.
Can you bring it back? Yelisa, happy birthday.
Thank you.
May you grow bigger and bigger in the field of brand managing and just blogging and helping out people out there, to get an exposure, to be known with the community, but people just in general in the world of sports, and just keep on striving, doing your best. And I mean, we're in the month of women. I mean, in the month that whereby we're just celebrating women. So I thank you for what you're doing, and keep on rising and shining. You're not only doing it for yourself, but to all other women out there. You are representing us, right? And again, getting back into what you're doing, what has been one of your highlights so far, so good? Like, what have you enjoyed about being a brand manager? Just give us a take on that.
What I have enjoyed so far, it's being Tabodo Dada's brand manager. Oh my gosh.
Wow.
A rising star he is. I say this all the time, even to him, that I'm blessed to have him as my very first client.
Right.
He's the easiest person to work with. He's understanding, he's got a vision, he's very focused, he knows what he wants.
Right.
So we are on the same boat.
Sure.
We've got each other's backs as well. If I'm like slacking the side, like he's there to pull me up. If he's down on his side, I'm there to pull him up. So I've met a lot of people as well.
Right.
I've met people within the soccer industry that I've never thought that I would meet.
Sure.
But hey,
Sure.
whoever knew that Teko Modise would actually hug this girl, take pictures with this girl, and be like brand manager. So it's those kind of things. It has opened some doors. It's hard, it's frustrating as well.
Sure.
You see the pictures and you think, oh wow, babes just got there, but it's at times it's very stressful, and you're very scared of these people because these are big people, and for you to step up to them and be like, hey, hi, I'm this person,
Yes.
So it's a journey, it's a process, and I'm enjoying every moment of it.
Oh,
That's the beauty.
fantastic.
That's the beauty of being a dreamer, right? If you're a big dreamer, anything is possible. And she just mentioned it now, or let's say, I don't know, but she just said it now that she never really.
Imagined.
I don't know what I'm looking for a fancy word in English, but I just can't get into it. So she never imagined herself being the likes of Teko Modise, and there's still more to come to her, right?
Sure.
Because she's passionate about what she's doing.
And she's gone after a dream, and this is what it's about. And I think also, what I wanted to just check with you, Yolisa, how much of educating do you have to do with the actual players? You know the field, you know social media, you've been out there, you've put yourself out there, and you want to put others out there too. How much grooming do you have to do physically, and also, more importantly, emotionally? How much of that do you have to do with the player.
It's a lot. But as I'm saying now, as Tabo Dada, like, doesn't just do whatever.
Yes.
You know, he's self-disciplined already.
Right.
Hence, I'm saying he's the easiest and the
Sure.
greatest person that I could ever dreamed of to work with. But with the others, the problem comes to social media, because some are very emotional.
Right.
And when, for example, when I was working with this club that I was working with, obviously they had a Facebook page.
Yes.
And then people are critics, you know, they
Sure,
would say
sure,
negative things, and you've already got a Facebook admin. You as a player, you don't answer to
Right,
that.
yeah.
You've never seen Simphiwe Shabalala
Yes,
answering
yes.
clubs
Yeah.
Don't get
things.
drawn
You
into
don't.
it. Yeah.
But then I've seen some getting so emotional, and I had to be like, we don't do that. Hence, now I also incorporated workshop on how, if you are running your social media by yourself,
Right.
this is how you have to behave,
Right.
and this is what you have to do,
Yes.
and this is what you can't do.
Yes.
This is what you can post, this is what you cannot post.
Good.
This is how you can comment, this is how you cannot comment. You know, so the workshop comes in there on how
Right.
I kind of, it's a guideline
Yes,
on how to
yes.
do things.
Sure.
I can't be controlling them on the field because the coach has got
Sure,
that,
sure.
and they can do that themselves. But off the field, and when it comes to social, because social media can make you or break you,
Absolutely.
like in a split
Absolutely.
second, it does not play.
Absolutely.
So that's where I come in, and I'm like, this is the do's and don'ts, the pros and cons.
Good.
So yeah,
And once it's out there, you can't get
it is.
back.
It is like this other guy posted something, and to a quickly screen grabbed. He
Yes.
deleted the post, but hey, here it
out
is.
there already, viral.
You know,
Exactly.
here it is.
Murwa, you talked about the lack of infrastructure, equipment at your sporting venue where you hold practices and you know the struggle that you guys go through in
Players. I know with other sporting codes, it takes a lot of resources. It takes a lot of money. It takes a lot of funding to travel, to get the kits, to get all the equipment, etc. How do these players, for example, the provincial players, how do they do it? What do they have to do to get funded, for example?
Well, guys, there's quite a lot that a club needs. You know, coming from Mandalay, like I said, we have no sort of income coming through.
Right.
Players need to cough up their own money, whether to games or, you know, luckily we use the Mandalay field. But I mean, the field as well is not a hockey field. It's a field.
So you
it's
improvise.
grass.
It's just a field.
We
yeah.
actually practice on a netball court. That's our.
Right.
and you two produce great players.
So that's our, you know, it's a small netball court, and it's we try.
Sure.
We try. And you know, the first kit that they actually had, I had to buy from my own pocket. At the time I used to work at Nike, so I used to, every time whenever I had some sort of money,
Right.
I'd buy one or two shorts, and that's how we managed to get our first club. Our first kit, and sometimes we'd get kits from tourists that are coming through.
Right.
They'd bring kits or their old kit or whatever it is,
Yes, yes.
and those are the clothes that we use.
And
for,
even with that,
for-
it wasn't really promising because you had to go to them and talk to and
Exactly.
ask for some sort of some help out.
Exactly. When it comes to sticks, Province actually helped us with sticks, but I mean those are for beginners.
Right.
Those sticks you can't really play.
An actual game.
No, that's just for beginners. And when it comes to Province players, players actually, in fact, I used to play for Province,
Right.
and my mom can attest to this. I used to cough up every year. My mom knew that, look, if I'm chosen to play for Province,
You have to.
she has to have money.
Sure.
Province doesn't pay for you,
Right.
doesn't pay for your kit, traveling around, whatever, it doesn't pay anything.
Not the kit even.
Not the kit even.
Wow.
You have to pay for your own kit, own accommodation, transport,
Wow.
everything, and till today.
Wow.
I've just been coaching now the Kwachas team under 14. We were down in Bloemfontein. It's so sad that we had to leave quite a lot of players behind
Behind.
because they couldn't afford
Right.
to pay. And the tournament fee was around about 7,000 and odd. Now you tell me a kid coming from Ekailicha,
Sure.
parents are not
Potential
working,
that kid.
where are they going to get the money?
Yeah.
And it's obviously really sad to hear this. And we know the social conditions, we know the economic conditions. Has there been any, on your part at least, has there been any approach to the schools perhaps to form some kind of partnership? You know, I mean, we're obviously hoping that there are business people out there listening to us right now, listening to the struggles that you face on a daily basis, and yet you're producing provincial players. You know, provincial players that could possibly go on to become national players.
Exactly.
And simply because they don't have the funds, you know, they can't do this. But is there something, you know, that you could perhaps look at with partnering up with one or two of the schools that the children come from?
Look, basically, most of the kids are all coming from schools in town.
Okay.
And the only school that we have in the community is Mandalay Primary School. And honestly, I haven't approached them.
Right.
But I've recently approached ShopRite. That's a more just outside of Mandalay.
Sure.
But I got a negative response.
Yeah.
I got nothing out of them. And I tried to approach the local doctors in the area, which I got nothing as well.
Right.
So
I think you must try that school option. And then perhaps Soliswa will talk to you about some social media.
yeah,
We can do this. We can do this.
Publicity.
Ooh,
We can
I've got
hook
a
you up.
friend actually who's she's studying teaching, and she at the school that she's doing her inception or
Right.
whatever what she's doing, she is a hockey teacher.
Wow.
So,
Okay, there we go.
It's the beauty of being on radio and
Yeah.
just
You know.
We'll get
Let's
you
see
guys
what
to
we can
network
get
on
out.
Yeah,
this.
you know.
yeah.
beautiful. I'm actually happy now that we seeing some smile, not only on Yolisa since it's her birthday, but also on Murwa as a coach, that she's gonna get some positive out of the show
There we go.
tonight.
Yeah.
There we go.
And that's why we're here, right? So, because we're running out of time.